They say it's pure motocross at Thunder Valley. It's pure elevation, 6,100 feet. That means the bikes are going to run slower, the lungs are going to pump harder, but the racing was only better. Big news in this Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship. Breakthrough wins in both classes, and we'll have all the highlights coming up next. It's the RacerX Motocross Show on AllySports.com. Welcome to round 5 of the Lucas Oil AMA Pro Motocross Championship. Thunder Valley is one of the toughest races on this tour, as Toyota Trucks National presents the riders with elevation, and that makes it tough on the bikes and the bodies. Christian Craig going to control it early on with a whole shot in the first 450 moto, running with Chad Reed, and watch this. Craig says, "You are not taking the lead from me, Chad Reed." Ryan Villopoto going to take advantage of that action to move to the number 2 spot, and he would be able to get around Craig, take the number 1 spot, and take off. Dungey able to get around Craig as well, but he still has Reed in front of him, and these two went at it. Dungey's had a tough time getting around a very stubborn Reed this year. Same case in this first moto, until finally Dungey was able to shove his way past the 2-2 to get to the number 2 spot. Kevin Windham back in 4th. Ryan Villopoto takes off for his 3rd straight first moto win. Now, Chad Reed has made a career out of bouncing back from adversity. He's done it in the second motos every single time this year, and he indeed grabs the whole shot in moto number 2. He gave it everything he had, but on a track that he is usually not comfortable with, he could not hold the Ryans back. This time, it's Dungey who's going to make the move to get by. Kevin Windham was up there with them earlier, but once Dungey had the number 1 spot, he was able to clear Reed. Villopoto moves into 2nd, and the battle was on between the Ryans. They pushed, they pulled. Half of the track, Villopoto was faster. The other half, Dungey was faster. But Dungey never wilted. And after a whole bunch of disappointment as far as trying to get wins this year, the Dunge had this one under control. As for Reed, 3rd, not what he wanted, finishes over a minute back, but on a track that's not his favorite, he'll take it. He's still your points leader. And Windham, who is supposed to be done racing, goes 4-4 in the day. Here are your 450 results. Congrats out to 5th overall, 7-8 scores. Andrew Short in the top 5. A rough day for a bunch. Michael Alessi crashes out of Moto 2. Let's get to the 450 press conference and hear from the top riders.
I was pumped to rip a good hole shot in the second one. You know, I had a little bit of pressure. I think Honda's hole shot at every moto here since '09. So I wanted to, you know, live up to my end of the bargain and rip a hole shot. So by far the best bike I've ever rode at altitude. So it was a pleasure. We just needed a rider to twist the throttle a little more today.
I don't know if I made a mistake or what, if he just turned it up a little bit one lap, but he was able to get like 2 seconds on me and towards the end of the moto there, and that's kind of where it stayed. But yeah, no, for me, I'm happy with where I finished and how it was, because it was so much better than what my second motos have been.
Coming up here, we lose a lot of with the elevation, we lose a lot of power. So just try to get the bike back to running as good as you can and as clean as you can. And bike always seems to work a little bit different here, but. It was good. You know, Adam from Showa, we were able to make a little bit of changes throughout the day, and then going into the second moto, we were able to find some good stuff as well. But just try to make good changes, you know, to get the bike as best as we can.
In the 250 class, Eli Tomac needs a breakthrough, and the home state race might be the one to deliver it for him, but he needs a start. And let's see if he gets it. Well, it is a Geico Honda going to lead everyone around, but instead it's the 17 of Justin Barcia, mono and all, leading his rival, Dean Wilson, early. Barcia had a little lead built up. Wilson was going to hang with him. Here's Darren Durham running strong in 4th, but uh-oh, who's in 3rd? Blake Baggett has actually got himself a good start. And he put that kid up front early, and he's going to be dangerous. No surprise here. Wilson and Barcia are going to battle. They do it almost every week. Here's Wilson getting to the lead. Barcia's stuck in the Kawasaki sandwich. Here's Baggett trying to follow his teammate through. Nice job by Durham to hang on for 4th. Serious points leader Tyler Rattray goes off the track. That'll put him well outside the top 10 early. Baggett and Wilson would battle for the lead. Eventually, Baggett would secure that spot and take the first moto win. Wilson would finish 2nd. Tomac would come all the way through to finish 3rd. Barcia had a crash. Rattray would come back for 5th. In the second moto, another good start for Barcia. Heat was on once again. Wilson was there. Baggett was there. Lance Vincent on the 245 and Ryan Sipes there as well. But once again, El Chupacabra just slashing his way through would take the lead and pull away again. Wilson did everything he could to stay close. Baggett actually had a tip over late in the race, but Wilson could not take advantage of that. Baggett is going to go on, go 1-1 and win his 3rd overall this year. As for Rattray, another bad start. He would salvage a 5th. That's solid points, but not enough to prevent Wilson's 2-2 from grabbing the points lead. Tomac had bad starts. He managed to rally for 3rd both times. You know he wants a little bit more. We'll check out the overall results here in the 250 class. Nice job by Durham to take 4th. And Ryan Sipes just outside the top 5 in his first race back after a pile of injuries. Solid as well. Let's go to the 250 press conference.
Once again, I kind of struggled with my starts. But it seemed like the track was good for racing, and good for passing, and good for wearing guys out because it was so bumpy and rough. So, yeah, that's about it. You know, 3-3 is nice.
I mean, first moto I had suffered a little bit of arm pump, just rode kind of tight, and then you know, pulled off a 2nd, so happy with that. And then second moto, you know, I was about 4th off the start and got another 2nd. You know, I just had a hard time getting around the, you know, a couple guys at the beginning, and it kind of Blake got away, and Blake was just riding phenomenal today, and he's riding real good.
How do you feel about your new nickname, Chupacabra, from this guy?
Yeah, it's sick. It's pretty sweet. I actually didn't know what it was. I had to look it up, but I like it. Yeah, no, it's sweet for sure. I like it. It's definitely different. So, yeah, it's cool, and hopefully I can hold up to that nickname.
All right, we're going to break down the action here from the Toyota Trucks National at Thunder Valley. We got Jason Thomas here, who would have been racing, but no knee brace on, but post-knee surgery. Yes. So how's it feel after walking around the facility all weekend?
It's all right. I'm like almost 6 weeks out now, so getting better. Just it's kind of a waiting game now. It's got to heal, and it's hard to watch all day, though. I wanted to ride, and second motos I didn't feel like riding too much, but it's nice to have some time off, too.
Okay, so you've been out here, you know what these tracks are like, you know what these riders are like. Let's start with talking about the 450 class. Ryan Dungey gets the overall win. Is it a breakthrough win? Is it a Ryan Dungey is back where he was last year win? Or are these guys going to be close and swapping all year long?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it was more just kind of a victim. He was in the right circumstances this weekend. He's not had the starts that he has been accustomed to, I think, outdoors, and I think it's a different kind of formula this year. He's got Chad and Villapoto to deal with, and last year he could come from wherever, wear the guys down, get to the front, win the moto. This year it's a different kind of scenario where if he doesn't get the start, those guys are strong the entire moto, and you know, he may catch up to him, but getting around him is a different story, and this weekend he finally got a good start at second moto, showed what he could do with it.
And Chad Reed, his worst performance of the year, not able to bounce back in the second moto, but you were saying this is a track where he's really struggled in the past.
Yeah, I think coming in here, he knew that he just needed to have a solid day. I don't think he's that confident here. He's never done very well here historically, so to go 3-3, he kind of got fortunate because those guys swapped points, so he didn't lose max points to either guy, and got out of here with a 3-3 and just kind of regroup and move forward to, you know, he's much better at Redbud.
So in other words, the question is still out there. We still don't know who the man is in this class.
I don't think there is one. I think they're all really equal, and they're going to have good days and bad days, and it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be who has the most good days, it's going to be who has the bad days. You know, I think that's going to be at the end of the season, you're going to look back and say, Dungey's Freestone gas incident,
right.
Ryan's, you know, first few motos of the year he struggled, so I think that's what it's going to be more than anything.
And the 250 class, meanwhile, a little bit different. There is a rider that's established himself as the fast guy of the class. Blake Baggett did it again today, but can he do this every week?
That's the question. I don't know. I think he's going to have days like today. He's already shown that he can go faster than anybody else on the track when he wants to. Can he keep it on two wheels? That is going to be the issue, I think, all year long, because I don't think he's going to change his strategy. I think he's going to go for the win every single time. And he doesn't have the points lead, you know, at this point. So he has the most wins by far and not the points lead. So you've got to kind of question, is that the right strategy at this point? Dean Wilson's been there every time. Rattray's been there every time. He kind of had an off day today. But it's interesting, you know what I mean? It's such a different approach to the season when you look at Rattray and then you look at Blake Baggett. So time will tell, I guess.
anyone else going to be able to break through and challenge these Kawasaki guys? They have been the 3 guys pretty much at every race.
I don't see it. I think Barcia has the ability to, but
yeah.
the sickness and issues he's dealing with are obviously holding him back. I don't see it. I think Tickle is capable of getting up there, but he's obviously still struggling. I mean, those 3 are week in and week out typically going to be, I think, there every time.
Yeah, and Eli Tomac was 3rd overall today, but not able to be a factor. So far, no one has proven that they can run that pace yet.
Yeah, I expected him to be stronger today. His
Yeah.
practice times were amazing.
Yep.
I mean, he came out swinging right away, and I think he's probably a little bummed on how the day turned out because he just didn't get the starts. I thought he was fast enough. He kind of paced with Wilson once he got into 3rd, but if you give up 15 seconds the first half of the race, how are you going to, you can't make up that time. So I think this was his track he was really looking forward to.
Right.
And, I think, what did he go, 3-3?
Yeah.
I think he was looking for more than that.
I'm sure he was. Meanwhile, in the WMX class, Jessica Patterson, it's 2 solid performances to get the moto wins. See if she can make up more points than Ashley Fowler. The women will race next weekend. We will be at Redbud for July 4th weekend, so just be there in person because it's really impossible to recreate that race via video. It's a good time, but if you're not there, we will have 450 coverage live, by the way, on NBC next weekend. First moto coverage live on Fuel TV, second moto coverage of the 250s on Speed. So it's a jam-packed Redbud weekend. We will see you there. For Jason Thomas and Jason Wygant, thanks for watching the Racetracks Motocross Show for the Toyota Trucks Thunder Valley National in Lakewood, Colorado.